I've not really had great relationships with female friends.
Oh.
Ever since I was growing up. Yeah, I was mostly a tomboy when I was growing up. So I didn't really have a great relationship with girls. So it was always, we have this friendship, we have this relationship, but then something happens. Then, you know how secondary school drama, backstabbing, so now snatch your best friend, something happens. So now I'm like, can we do this? Can I be able to work with somebody that I'm not in the same, like somebody I'm in the same unit with, the same space with, we're constantly looking at each other, constantly sharing ideas. And I was like, okay, so one day, I think when I work, I'm supposed to meet at Chiboko.
I hear you from the door.
So I went to Chiboko and then I went to work. And then I already started singing. Chiboko, can you be quiet? The thing is catching my head. I say, you see him. I talk him. I say, I knew that this thing. I just carried myself went upstairs. Went to be Shagun. I don't know how this is going to work, Shagun. Shagun said, you know what? Give it a try. And I can see with honesty that I did not regret it.
I love it.
But
Chioma is now the sugar in my tea.
But don't still sing.
But do you know what? There's actually something about your unit, because one of their team members decided to come and stay in my office for a bit to work, you know. Yeah. And then I just said, already I was getting mocked. Don't say, like, please don't be evil. Okay, so Chioma, what was your first impression of Queeneth when you met her?
Oh, I think it was, for want of another phrase, it was connection at first sight. Let me use love. I know, right? Because then I was in the office when I just joined Abuja. It was a new office, new space. I was alone in the office for like a long time, for like 2-3 weeks, just me in an office space. Like they planned for me, they just left me there. I remember that face. And then out of the blues, I just see the P&C person come and say, thank God there's not that person sitting with you. Ada is joining you today. I was like, oh, your name is Ada. Oh, you're Igbo. Oh, thank God. I felt so desperate. And then we just hit it off immediately. Ada just said, gisting with me. I said, gisting with her. Next time I knew we were exchanging phone numbers.
Wow.
You know. And it wasn't just, I've exchanged phone numbers on the video, but Ada called me, even on that day, so I was telling him, I'm like, okay.
Forget me not.
I didn't hear something new. And then coming to work, it was just like, I had somebody to talk with. I thought, we're not even doing work again. We're just gisting. Like, it was really, really...
HR.
She just pushed me to like really open up in the workplace. It was really great.
Because I remember when you reached out to me on WhatsApp, then I was still at the field office, and she was like, oh, this person is going to reach out to you. She's such an amazing person. Like, your PR was strong. So when I came to the country office, I was also eager to meet Ada. And Ada and I, so among like the three of us, Ada and I had the chat, yes. And you will see Chioma struggling to right? Same thing with
I introduced them, so I'm like,
and she's like, you could see her trying to like put a document together. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then same thing too with Joy. It was because of the both of you that I was like, oh, okay, because I always come in and see Joy. So this fine girl. Who is this singing bird? Who is this songster?
Challenges are actually what shapes you.
You might be great, but if you are not perceived as great, that is a problem.
In this life, no one's going to give you anything. That's just the honest truth.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Development Conversations podcast. I am your host, Toby Ransom. It is so good to have you join us. Today we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic. Should I do another round of drum roll? Anyways, so today we're talking about something that affects every development practitioner, whether we realize it or not, and that is community and friendship in the workplace. How do we build relationships that support our productivity, impact, and well-being? Are our colleagues really our friends? Because there's always that thing that we say, your colleagues are not your friends. Do your work and go home. So we're going to look at that. And how do we navigate the tricky waters of workplace dynamics? That is what we're going to look at. Like I mentioned before, our topic for today's podcast is thriving at work, the power of community and friendship. And with me are three amazing women. I've had the pleasure of working with them, and I am so happy and excited to have them. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, would you like to introduce yourself, starting from Chioma?
Hi everyone, my name is Chioma Osim. I work in the development space, precisely in the sector of resource mobilization. It's amazing being here. I'm really honored to be part of this today.
Yay! Chioma is part of the people that bring in the money. Over to you.
Okay, so my name is Queeneth Njoku, aka Adure. Adure is my middle name. I work in the development space, and I'm a communication specialist. I really love what I do. Thank you so much, Toby, for having me.
It's nice to have you here.
Hi everyone, my name is Joy Akinwalere. A program development person, working with resource mobilization, specifically fundraising. And again, copy and paste, Toby. It's lovely to be here. Thank you. Nice setup you have, by the way.
Thank you. I just like hearing the sound. I like the sound of my voice, the sound of my name. So it's really, really good to have you all. And I'm going to take a bit of your time to just read out their bio, starting with COO, aka Chioma Osim. She's a program support advisor and a business development professional with over 7 years progressive experience in fostering strategic partnerships, driving donor engagement, and managing end-to-end proposal development for INGOs. She has also managed health, nutrition, and education projects in Nigeria. That is actually where I met Chioma, it was specifically Northeast Nigeria.
Thank you.
Chioma is also a dedicated and committed development practitioner who pays attention to details, and this shows in the quality of work that she churns out. So Chioma and I have actually worked on a couple of proposals and tasks when we're working together as project managers in Northeast, and that is something that I really, really love about her. And then next to Queeneth. Queeneth is the communications advisor at the organization. So we work together. She is a strategic communications and knowledge management specialist with over 10 years of experience spanning research, communications, digital marketing, brand management, graphic design. I need a break to take a glass of water. Data collection, analysis, and M&E, and just everything. Like, Queeneth is somebody that has literally done it all. She has a track record of working effectively as part of multicultural and diverse teams, and she excels in critically analyzing situations and preferring strategic solutions tailored to project and organizational requirements. I mean, I can attest to that. I'm working with Queeneth for a long time, has been so amazing. So Queeneth, you're welcome once again. Finally, Joy Akinwalere. She's a business development officer and has over 5 years of experience in fundraising and marketing communications for the past 3 years. Joy, in the business development space, has been mobilizing funding from institutional and non-institutional sources for program and policy influencing. She also supports in securing funding, strategic communications, and proposal development, as well as growing and strengthening relationships. I can attest to that too. Joy is one colleague that everyone wants to have on their team because she has this great ability of managing deadlines and maintaining her cool. And that is very commendable. So Joy and I worked on a proposal, I think in September, and I actually fell sick when it was time to submit it because of the pressure. And I had to depend on Joy to just, get to the finish line and, just submit it. And we got the proposal, so that's good.
Yeah.
So as you can all see, we have amazing guests, and thank you once again. Before we move into the meat, I have a little game. You know me and my games. So you have 12 numbers to choose from, 1 to 12. So whatever number you pick, you're going to answer the question. No skipping. This is your performance management. So who wants to go first?
We're ready. Number 3. Let's go.
Oh, wow. Okay. Number 3. Would you rather have the ability to read minds or the ability to teleport? See.
No. Now, what will I use those powers for? Teleport. I
Why?
prefer to teleport. The things I can do, the places I can shop at.
1 minute you're in Nigeria, the next you're in
Come
London.
on. First class, baby.
Okay, next. Who would like to go next?
5, the number of grace.
Hey. Would you rather always get to choose your project or always get to choose your teammates?
Ooh.
You didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming. I think I'd much rather always get to choose my projects, because working where I work with the business development means that I have to interact with different kind of people, and it has honed my skills for emotional intelligence and people communications. So I think I can work with any team as long as I know their strengths and weaknesses and see how we can complement.
All right, I've gotten one way to answer my question for my next interview.
This are
I'm telling you, Queeneth.
Okay,
What number?
Number 10.
Okay. Would you rather be known for your innovative ideas or for your exceptional teamwork skills?
I think innovative ideas, because obviously everybody knows that you have to work with a team to bring it to life. So innovative ideas are more strategic. It places you in a more strategic position than teamwork. Teamwork is great, but what will push you far is what people know about you.
Okay.
Yes, so innovative ideas all the way.
Yes, I'm definitely going to come back to these answers for my future interview, not anytime soon. PNC, if you are watching this, I am not going anywhere yet.
Reduce her salary.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Chioma, back to you. One more question for you. Which number?
I choose a number.
Yes.
7. Has it been chosen?
No, we haven't chosen 7 yet. Would you rather attend a week-long professional conference in an exotic location, think Barbados, Jamaica, or have a year of unlimited access to online courses?
I think I prefer the week-long conference, because it's easier to just stay focused. It's easier to get so much, when you are in that space, rather than having to self-pace, for the whole year. There can be conflicting priorities. You won't get to use the opportunity as much.
True.
But in that space, there's a lot of things going on. There's the opportunity to network, there's the opportunity to learn, there's the opportunity to vacation.
And take fire pictures.
Come on. So yes.
Although everyone knows Chioma will never post the pictures. Joy. 9. Okay. Would you rather receive a prestigious award in your field or get a surprise bonus equal to a month's salary? Money or award?
Award. It's a no-brainer. Because the award is eventually going to fetch me more money, but 1 month worth it's not worth it, considering the balancing it on a scale.
I love it. Okay, Queeneth.
Number 1.
Okay. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'm actually weighing this. Be able to fly or be invisible. Can I become visible when I want to?
Yeah. As long as you just choose one of the options.
Okay, be invisible.
Why?
People won't see you coming.
Okay. Cue, they never see you coming. All right, that's really good. Okay, so straight into the meat of the day. What does community mean to you in the development space? So let me start with Queeneth. When you think community, what's in 1 or 2 words, what does it mean to you?
Okay, so when I think community, I think my squad. I think my tribe. I think people that or see things the way I see them. It mustn't necessarily be the same way, but our values align. What we see are aligned.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Chioma?
For me, it's shared values. There has to be a foundation that builds this community, right? So that's it for me. There has to be that thing that holds us together, that point of cohesion, right? So those shared values, that foundation, is really what community is for me.
I love that. Joy, in addition to that, how is it different from personal friendships?
Oh yeah, so a community for me is like a tight-knit group of support. So a friendship may not initially necessarily be built on shared values. I think you can just connect with somebody without first understanding the foundation of their values. So you just start off and you don't agree on some things, and that's okay, that's cool, as long as you guys understand each other, support each other. A community may not necessarily connect with you in that way, but they are with you. In some instance, they're like a stronghold, they are pillars that they can just hold you. So you can run from your friendship to your community, right? And your community can also be your friend.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so still, I'm going to start off with you. How has friendship in the workplace helped your productivity, impact, or well-being?
Wow. I'm going to start off by saying, earlier when we were just having conversations, I was talking about how it was difficult for me to just find this tight-knit group of friends, especially females, that you can just connect with and can support you. For me, it has been a rock of support. So sometimes I'm going through a bad day. Usually what I usually used to do is I'll go into the restroom and I would cry my eyes out, and I'd be like, okay, Joy, come out strong, let's do this. But now I have a group of people that I can run to and say, oh no, this happened and this happened and this happened, and then they can just be like, we know what's going on, can you calm down, can we talk about it? And it's just this relief. It's like a breath of fresh air with having friends around, and they can support you and they can grow your you can just grow your capacity and all, and it's beautiful. Really, I really enjoy having friends, especially at work.
I love it. Queeneth, do you have anything to add to it?
I have actually enjoyed friendship in the workplace. I remember when I met Chioma newly, and we got talking, and one of the things she asked me was if I had done my master's degree. I hadn't at that time, and she kept pushing me. I was looking at the resources, the time. I'm so busy with work, and she was like, Ada, if you don't start, you won't get this done. So every day, I remember every day until I paid, Chioma was really asking me, so what's the plan? Have you chosen a school? So when I eventually paid, she was so excited for me, and it happened because she wasn't giving me that idea, that advice, not based on being a colleague. It was because she actually really cared for me. Because like, if you do this, this is where it's going to take you to. She was already looking into my future before I could even see it. So there should be an award for this kind of thing.
There should be an award.
So yes, just one example, but friendship in the workplace is an amazing thing if you find the right people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Chioma, just to put everything together, which area do you want to highlight on, like the value of friendship? Is it productivity, well-being, or impact?
I think it's mental well-being. I think that trumps it for me, because come on, your 9 to 5 is more like 8 to 6 or 8 to 7.
Yeah.
You get to spend more time with these people, right? So even when you're having a bad day at home, or things are not just aligning somehow, it feels like, oh, this is my tribe. I like the word you use, my tribe. These are the people I can go to and just decompress, you know. It's in my head. I don't know how to say it to somebody else. I can't go home to my support system at home right now. He is like my husband is coping with something else, but these are people that are in the space right now. You know? So I would just imagine what it would be like to come to the office and they'll tell me, all my friends went on leave and I couldn't. It felt so cold. So really, that mental support, that community there. For me, it's the mental well-being.
I love it. So, is it true that your co-workers are not your friends? I know you all have answered it actually in one form or another, but basically what has been your experience now in general when you look at friendship at the workplace, and where does boundary come into place when we look at building workplace relationships? So who wants to start?
I want to start.
Okay.
I want to start. Yeah, I think that there are some basic foundations that hold a friendship in a professional setting, most especially. There's mutual respect. There's the respecting the boundaries. There's difference between setting boundaries and respecting them. And in the mutual respect, you have to learn to respect the boundaries of these people you work with, most especially because they are your friends. I feel like you even go the extra mile because they are your friends, to know that, I respect what you do, I love what you do, I support what you do, and so I'll be first in line to support you and respect you so that others can fall in that same line. Because I feel like if people just look immediately at your friendship and see disrespect, they just naturally want to disrespect you, because they're like, if this person that is close to you can disrespect you, who am I? And so immediately they just want to follow the example of your friend or the person that is close to you. So it has to be built on respect. So if I respect you, I know that this is your work. I expect you to act in your capacity that you function in a professional setting, and I understand that. So recently there's been a change in dynamic for me and a friend at work. You all know this person. Now this person is now my line manager, and so because she's my line manager, I need to be watchful of not disrespecting her position as a line manager, even though she is my friend. And so I set those clear boundaries. No, you cannot do this. When she gives orders, you take the orders, because she is your line manager. And so that everybody that sees that knows, there can be friendship and professionalism in the same boat, and it can work together. And so basically all I'm trying to say is the foundation is mutual respect.
Okay, I love it. Chioma, you wanted to
For me, I think I just want to backpedal to say, getting into a workspace, I don't think your priority should be making friends. Your co-workers are not your friends, really. They are your co-workers. Like, there should be that professional boundary set in place. Now, even in the course of things, you get a foundation, like you build that mutual respect. You get to see this person and say, okay, we have shared values. It can build, and it should build organically, and it should build gradually. Just because you're in the same space does not necessarily a friendship make. Right?
Yes.
You do not have to be friends with them just because. Right? There has to be something. There has to be something time. So I strongly believe it and attest to it when you say your co-workers are not your friends. That should not be the basis. If it were to be the basis, I think it would be in our job description that go forth and create friendships. But no, your co-workers are not your friends. It builds organically. You go there, you find people that you're like, okay, this person now is my person. This person understands me in this kind of way. We connect on this. And from there, you can build the friendship.
I love it. I love it. We don't go into jobs looking for friendship. I need a friend. It happens organically. And just like you said, and what all of you have said, like built on shared values, on mutual respect, and also respecting the boundaries that comes with our jobs. Queeneth, would you like to add anything to this? All right. So we can always come back. Thank you very much. So Queeneth, what are the key elements of a thriving professional community? So now looking, going beyond friendship, a professional community, what are the key elements of a thriving professional community?
So for me, the first, the foundation is shared values. Because when you have aligned in that, then every other thing thrives from it. So with values come respect, and that respect ties to a lot of things. Respect for the person's profession, respect for boundaries. So apart from the respect, another thing is trust. If there is no trust, then it means that people won't believe each other. It won't solidify, basically. So trust at this point is still part of the values. So another thing that is linked for me, that is linked to work alongside trust, is also commitment. So commitment to the work you do, commitment to your friends, commitment to what you say.
What are the key elements of a thriving professional community? Chioma, to you, when you think of a professional community, apart from shared values, which all of us agree about, and respect for one another, mutual respect, and then also respecting boundaries, what else should we look out for in a professional community?
I think for me, the word that stands out and is just going through my mind is thrive, right? you want to thrive, you want to grow.
Yes.
Really, essentially, this community has to be better than where it started from. If I met Ada in 2017, I should be able to say, oh, it's 2024. This is where we have grown to, right? We are not just in the same place that we were, from the start. So that is it for me. It has to be based on, yes, we are all thinking the same way. Yes, we all gist and we all, have our shared values, but are we heading somewhere?
Yeah.
Is there growth in this community? I think that's essentially is the purpose of having a community, because as development workers especially, you are there to create an impact.
Yes.
Not just in externally, but internally as well, because you can't give what you do not have, right? So if you are not growing for yourself as a person professionally, you cannot deliver on the job. So what essentially is the purpose of that community? So for me, I think that's the basic word, like growth.
Thank you. Joy, would you want to add something to this?
Yeah, when you were just talking about like a thriving community, I was just thinking about value add. You have to add value to a community. Each and every member of a community should be adding value, especially in a professional setting. There's also honesty. I think it's a great impact to have people who are honest with each other. Or how do we get this done, especially in the development space? We need to make an impact. How do we get this done? Honestly, can we do this? Can we achieve this? Pace yourself with goals, objectives that can be achieved, achievable, measurable, smart goals. And I think it will move the community forward. So.
Thank you. I thank you. This has been so enlightening, just hearing everyone, just sharing. But let me ask now, when you look at trust, collaboration, shared goals, what really matters among these three when you're looking at a professional community? So trust, collaboration, shared goals.
It's intertwined, really. It intertwines. You have shared goals with a person, but where does that lead you? You have to collaborate.
Yeah.
You have to get something done together. You can't just be an island with your goals. Yes, we have this thing mutually, but how do we make an impact, especially in the space that we occupy, in the work that we do, right? So for me, that collaboration has to be there as well. And then trust. You can't work with somebody
that you don't trust. Just like Queeneth mentioned earlier.
Right?
True.
So it's like the whole, when you talk about project management, the scope, the budget, everything just intertwines.
That triangle.
Everything is just together. So I really don't know how to separate one from the other. Yeah, but I think these are just three pieces to a puzzle that fits just perfectly and has to be together.
Okay. Yeah, that answers it. Yeah. So I have this question I answered true, right? When like building a community at the workplace, do we all have to be in the same thematic area? So I am in education, and fun fact, I think I mentioned it earlier that I met Chioma in at the field office when we were working in the North East humanitarian response, and she was in education. You guys, I toasted Chioma.
I agree to be toasted.
Stressed me.
But that's just by the way. But so I think we clicked because she was another project coordinator or project manager that is in education, and we're the only two women, so I had to gravitate towards her. So when you think about it, must all professional communities or work friendship be built on the basis that we're all in the same area or on the same field? Who wants to answer?
I think variety is the spice of life.
Okay.
Right? If you weren't in education, I want to believe that you are just this very attractive person, and I've still gravitated towards you.
And I'll still follow that to chase her.
Really? And then for Ada, obviously she wasn't even in our unit at the time, our sector at the time, and somehow we just still made it work. And then it's also the fact that we can sit down, all three of us, and have conversations.
You guys, why are you leaving me?
All four of us.
Apologies. Please go ahead.
It's funny that we can all sit, all four of us, and have conversations, and we are speaking about the same topic, but ideas are coming from
different
this way and that way and that way, and it just gels. Like we're just having a conversation outside, about alternative fundraising.
Yeah.
And ideas were just coming in, and for want of a better word, it gelled. We just we hit it, and that to me is one of the strengths of community, and then the diversity being in different sectors just brings the spice to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't believe in silo working either, because especially in development space, every thematic area is dependent on another. For example, in education, you say, oh, I just want to focus on education, but you have girls in schools and they need menstrual hygiene products. Then you now see where it's crossing with SRHR, for example, and then you need safe spaces, and then you need the men need to be champions of change, and then you just see where everything just mixes together. You need them to be healthy, so nutrition comes in play. Their parents have to be able to send them to school, so livelihood comes in play. And so you see the multi-sectorialness of the sector, and it is not possible to work in this space in silos. We will not get anything done. We will not make any real impact working separately.
Okay.
The word is mainstreaming.
Mainstreaming and integrating.
And collaboration. I mean, there's some words that just fly out anytime you're talking about development. Okay, so I'm going to start this question now with Queeneth, because we're going to look at conflicts in workplace. You guys, so when I was thinking about this session, I remember these quotes that I used to say to myself. I think I was in secondary school. I don't know if you guys remember this slum book. That book that you have. You have all those stickers.
Yeah.
Did you remember that? But I just remembered how in my slum book I wrote these quotes. I don't remember from where or who said it. I'll try to remember it so that I can put it in the show notes. That basically conflict must occur. It is in the resolution of conflict that we must stand out. I don't know how I remember this, because I was like years ago. Like,
You're really smart.
Yeah.
We were writing favorite classmates. Favorite food.
Actually, I was not. I don't think I was on the list of favorite classmates. But when I was actually just looking at these questions, that was the quote that came to mind: that conflict must occur. It is in the resolution of conflict that we all must stand out. And so I just want to throw this, because when we talk about relationships or even just working together, we're always going to have conflict. So how do we handle conflict in workplace friendship? I'm going to start with Adure. Like, if you can just share, how has it been for you?
Okay. This is a very weird question. Not weird, but let's be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because I know what it's like to have had issues, like, quarrel with a close friend when it comes to that I work with.
We've all quarreled.
Yeah, sure. And I think when it gets really weird. But for me, it's two things for me that works in decompressing issues in the workplace. And the first thing is communication.
Yeah.
Well, three things at this point. Communication, honest communication.
Yes.
Because it can happen, but are you willing to sit down and have an honest communication with the person and actually speak to what hurt you? And be honest with yourself as well. Because I mean, when the adrenaline is rushing, we actually do things that would hurt the other person.
Yes.
So are you willing to have a conversation, speak to what hurt the other person and where you hurt the person and what hurt you, and actually try to make it work? Do you want the friendship? That's the second thing. I mean, I think I shouldn't have said two things at this point. So the second thing is, do you really want the friendship going forward? Because that will also add to the energy that you bring into resolving it. Then the third thing is giving space. People handle things differently, and process things differently. So it's also great to respect if the person wants a bit of space to process what has happened and decide on the way forward. It's not because you're a bad person or you are not a great friend, but it's just you respecting the fact that this is what your friend wants and this is how they process things. So are you willing to actually back away instead of, well, for lack of a better word, love bombing the person? Right. So for me, these three things are key to decompress, workplace issues with your friend. But I think one thing for me is that we should understand that though these issues are happening and trying to resolve it, work needs to get done.
Yes.
So let's put aside the.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
we have to learn to put it one corner and get the work done.
Yeah.
After that, you can carry face. So that's it for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Adure. Something that you said, or two things, everything that you said actually resonated with me, but I just want to highlight something. I remember my mentor, so both spiritual mentor and also career mentor, Frederick Olumide Aditiba. So we had him on our webinar, and something that he always says anytime he's talking about, building relationships and community, because he's someone that is very passionate about community also. He says that, when you have a problem with another community member, your mindset should be to solve the problem or to restore the relationship and not to I am going to tell you a piece of my mind, because I don't know where we got that from, but I know that it's something that I personally struggled with, that when I have an issue with somebody, I just want to speak my mind, and what I'm thinking is, this person has to know how much they have hurt me, but not necessarily, even if I want to let them know, I also want to restore that relationship. And so I think it's so key that we have that at the back of our minds. And then the other thing that I said, that the work has to continue. It is so important. I think that has been an area that I had to grow in. I remember when I started my career and all, I don't think I was the easiest person to work with. And I was difficult to I was chaotic. I think it's also interesting that I've gotten to this point. But then I couldn't look past the issue to actually focus on the work. And the work could be suffering. Like he said, keep it aside and then let's do the work. And when we're done working, we can continue without any issue. So who would like to add? Joy, would you like to add anything to?
I think you both Chioma.
Okay.
I think you guys answered it.
Okay.
But I also think that there's the place of letting things go. And then I think that's just another thing that we don't take into account nowadays. Friendship is not forever. People grow, people evolve. If there are issues that you conflict on continuously, it's affecting you, it's affecting your work, it's affecting your mental well-being, it gets to the point where you should honestly tell yourself that
this is not going to work.
I'm not here for this friendship, as I said for this. I'm here for my job. I'm here for the impacts that I need to make, and this is no longer working. Let's just keep the friendship aside and continue as professional. As professionals.
I remember the former PDQ director, Auntie J. She came to the field office and she was talking about, the analogy she gave was basically if you have a project that is already dead, you can't, it's like you're trying to beat a dead horse. And that is just what came to my mind when you were talking about it. We really need to know when to move on and when to let things go. And then there are also times that the season has just ended. So we're not really enemies, but I'm not going to tell you when I'm buying ice cream at the office. Okay, so but basically, my next question, which is the final question for part 1 of this episode, is building a community different from networking, and how do they complement each other? So is building a community different from networking? Who would want to take a stab at this?
Chioma, I see you. Cooking something.
Chioma, cook.
Well, for me, based off all the responses we've given so far, I think it's a thing of breadth and depth, right? Okay. Community is deep. Community is friendship. Community is support, mental well-being. It's your person. It's what you build on. These are the people that I go to when there's this, when there's that. Networking, I wouldn't want to use superficial, but it's breadth. It helps you get your work done. It helps you connect with external people, right? They do not necessarily have to be your friends. They don't. They do not necessarily have to be your support system. However, your values, this is where I see a bit of, alignment. Your values as a community may also be your values when you're networking with the people you network with, right? That engagement is still there. The purpose of both groups, of both the community and the networking can be the same. Not everything, but there can be that shared purpose, right? One is supporting you, one is making you get the work done, but in the end is making you a better person.
Yes.
To make an impact. Yeah. So that's my response.
I love that. Breath and death. Like I've actually never seen it that way. So community friendship goes really deep. And then for network is just everywhere. So my network will keep expanding as long as I work in different organizations, I meet different people. I am not a shitty colleague. So that when they see my call, they're like, what's this evil person? But basically supports the work and the rest. So this has been helpful. Joy, does anyone want to add anything to this?
Yeah, just to add to what she said. I do agree. So it just made me think of timeline.
Okay.
I know we don't, build community having, hoping that it would end, even though, like she mentioned, you shouldn't let things go when it's dead. So, but community, you don't have a timeline in mind. You have something that would last for a longer time. Networking might not be the same, but I mean, let's say you're in a phase of your life, and they help you with what you need, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go with them along to the next phase. So this one is, for me, long lasting. This one, it could be for a phase. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Ladies, I've enjoyed chatting with you all. And so we're going to pause here. I mean, because you know that when it comes to talking about community, building professional communities or friendship and even networking, we can't go on and on. But we're going to put a pause here because this is where we stop. And then when we come back for part 2, we're going to dive deeper into building and sustaining workplace communities. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You can check us out on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and also follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. We're at the Development Conversations. Also, would love to hear from you. What are your questions? Do you have any feedback for us? Are there things that you want us to talk about? Please share with us. For now, it is bye from all of us. From now, it is bye.